9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Colin. This is Joe. We're your hosts. You're watching Well at Effin' Figures. And we have the Medinalorian. Welcome.
Hey,
man.
What's up, guys?
Thanks for coming
Thanks
on.
for having me. Thanks for having me.
Oh, definitely.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, for sure. So what's going on down there in sunny Florida as I
It's
sit
hot.
here in the cold?
It was a little cool this morning, but cool for Florida, like 65.
Oh, you poor thing.
I know. And the sun
Yeah.
comes out and it's like, forget it.
Right. Yeah, I want to put shorts and flip-flops on, man. I don't want to wear a lot of shit. I hate it. Less is better, you know?
We got
I don't
snow
do well in the
outside.
cold.
Yeah, we're supposed to get a little snow today. I don't know about maybe just the dusting, but still, that's enough. I don't want that either. And then tomorrow, I think it's supposed to be 50 some odd degrees. And
We were supposed to have this huge storm the other night. It turned out, it was still a storm, but it was like more ice.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucked. And then I woke up this morning, we had more snow on the ground.
Yeah. I know the other night when we had our show, you said it was snowing out. And I'm
Yeah.
like, shit, I don't ever want to see snow again. I hate it. I don't even want to hold a shovel. I don't want to scrape my windows. I don't want to do any of that shit. I hate it all.
I don't mind the snow. What I hate is like sticky, humid weather. That's what I hate.
I'll
That's
deal
Florida.
with that. I'll deal with it.
See, I can't do Florida.
Yeah,
Okay.
Florida, it's hot.
I was in Miami one time and I got off the plane. And I'm like, what the? I couldn't even
Let me
breathe.
back on. Take me back.
You get hit, man. It hits you like a wall.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like,
Turn this plane around and get me back to Milwaukee, right?
right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My favorite weather is California. Whenever I go out there, the temperature is
Diego?
just right. Yeah, it's like 70 in the sunlight, and then when you get into a shadow, it's like 60 in the shadows.
Yeah, because you go to the San Diego Comic-Con, so I'm assuming you're talking about San Diego mostly, right? Yeah.
San Diego, Los Angeles,
Mhm.
San Francisco. San Francisco was the coldest day I ever had in the summer.
Okay.
It was like June, and I went to the pier, and it was freezing, bro. It was like 40 degrees out there in June. It's
What's
crazy.
nice about
Yeah.
that desert weather is it gets nice and cool at night. Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, Cali's great, man. Love going out there.
It's been weird around here for the past few years. We haven't gotten much snow. Like the last time I shoveled, it's been a long time, and I want to keep the streak going. I don't want to do it. Tomorrow's 55, so it's going to be up and down, and it's really
And
strange.
that's shorts weather right there.
Oh yeah, I'll wear shorts. I used to wear shorts up until January most of the time, man.
Yeah, I
I'm
can't
like
do
Greg
it.
Cook, man. I hate wearing pants. I know he always says he wears shorts, and he's sitting out on them fucking shows on Saturday morning freezing, and I'm like, man, what that's the way to do it. Put a coat on and some shorts.
Yeah, man. Hey, I want to apologize up front because my kids just came home, and we're Mexican, we're loud. So
That's all right. You might hear my
Straight up.
dog bark. You might hear my wife scream. You never know what's going to happen in this house either. So it's all good. It's
Yeah.
all good. She said we're Mexican, so we're loud.
I'm just saying, man. We crack up about that. People come over and like we're speaking like a high octaves and everything, and they're like, "No, we're just communicating."
Yeah, I grew up with a
Not yelling.
lot of my friends growing up were Puerto Rican, and every time I went in their house, I would be like, "Are your parents arguing?" Oh no, they're just talking. They're talking. They're just chatting. I'm like, "Oh shit."
That's right. That's right.
I didn't know any better. I thought they're gonna kill each other.
Right? Yeah.
It's funny. I'm Italian, so it's kind of the same. My mom was
Not
loud.
true.
My dad was quiet, and my mom was loud though. But see, there goes my dog just now. I don't know if you heard it.
No, I didn't hear it.
Nonstop, man. Nonstop.
What kind of dog?
I got 2 yellow labs.
Nice.
One's 9 and one's almost 10, and the other one's about a year and not quite a half yet. But he tortures the big one. The big one just wants to be left the hell alone, and the little one just keeps screwing with him. And
That's usually how it is.
it's a constant nightmare. But yeah, they're good boys for the most part. But yeah, so like we said, thanks for coming on, and we just wanted to see, I watch a lot of your videos, and I love watching your videos because they're well done for one, and they're not very long, so you keep it short and to the point, which I think a lot of people like. So tell us a little bit about how you got started on YouTube and how you got mixed up with Seth too at that point. Because we had him on the show. We had a good time with Seth, man. He's fun.
That's a trip. Seth's a trip. I miss him.
Yeah, me too.
So the channel started out as well, the MCE channel. It was where we first started. It was initially called Marvelous Statues. It started out where I was collecting statues at the time, and I watched a few channels out there, and I was really like just researching mostly for myself, so over pieces that I was going to buy, and the guys that I was watching just stopped putting out videos. It's like they disappeared off the face of the earth. And I ended up in Texas for work, and while I was out there, I got a deal on one of these XM Studio statues. I got a deal on or I thought was a deal, a Batman statue. Actually paid a shit ton for that. But anyway, I get this statue, and I'm thinking I'm gonna make a video about this, and so I could do this. And when I started the channel, I am like crazy shy. I am not into being in front of a camera. I don't do well in meetings. I don't host meetings all that well. So it's like I was not very good at this kind of stuff. And because of that, it kind of like fueled me to want to try it. Right. So I stayed up all night long at this hotel making the first Marvelous Statues logo and the intro. So I do that, and I send it off to a few of my friends. And my friends were like, "Yo, that looks dope, man. We should make a channel." So we go and I start making I do the first video, which was on the XM Studios Batman. It was a samurai Batman when it came out, and I got a lot of people that liked the show, even though if you watch that first video, it was horrible. I was super quiet, it's monotone. I was not energized at all. I was basically just pointing things out. I looked like Sheldon, like fun with flags. I was very
Yeah.
So I create this video. I get a lot of people that gave me compliments on it, and my brother saw it, and he was like, "There's potential in this." My brother is always thinking about ways to market stuff, because that's what he does. So he's like, this could be fun. You could do it. We can get advertisers and all this stuff. And I was just doing it for fun, and I still only do it for fun. But that was his mindset. So he kind of like pushed me further along and was like, let's try it again. He gave me some suggestions on how to, seem a little more excited about what I was talking about. And then it started to become naturally. So I did a few more videos, and the channel kicked off, and it did really well at the beginning. I gained a couple thousand followers, almost like in the first few months, it seemed like, and it was really cool. So that happens, and I'm talking about it at work and everything, and I work with Seth. So Seth hears it, and Seth wants to take and join in. So he tells me that he wants to do the videos with me, and at the time I'm trying to think of other things to do, because I always had this thought that whatever it is that you collect, it doesn't matter if you collect stamps or very expensive statues or whatever. If you enjoy it, that's really what matters. And that was what the essence of the channel was going to be, even though it was named Marvelous Statues. So we, Seth tells me he wants to do it on Funko Pops, and he wants to call it What's Poppin'. And all of us had a good laugh. And Seth pitches things really well. So we all had a good laugh about it. And then Seth comes on the channel, and we have the first video, and I did the first video with him, and both of us were kind of like still very like stiff. Like if you watch that first video of Seth, he was just like, "Hi, I'm Seth." It was not the Seth that he is now.
Right.
So anyway, so we do this video, and I get a lot of mixed feedback. People are like, "Why are we talking about Funko Pops? You were about statues." And I'm trying to get people out of that mindset that it's like, man, it doesn't matter, what it is. If just this is what this is for a different crowd, which may have been a mistake, but still it was the idea. And yeah, and we rolled with it, and Seth kept getting better and better, and the channel kept growing, and it eventually turned into MCE, because he and my brother felt that the name Marvelous Statues cornholed us into statues, and he wanted us to seem more broad, so it became Marvelous Collectibles and Entertainment is what the two of them came up with. And I was like, that is a lot to say at the beginning of a show. I'm like, so we're gonna call it MCE, and we'll go with that. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where it went off, and we kept on going and having fun and going to cons, and Seth started doing the toy hunts, and it was a lot of fun, man. And so it's been a good ride.
Definitely. I always wonder what MCE stood for, so now we know. We learned something today. That's good.
Yeah, some people said it's my collecting enablers. That was another one that people came up with.
Well, that's what you're becoming to me, because when I watch yours and then I say shit, because I'm not very good at doing the research to see what's coming out and all that stuff. I'm terrible at that. So when I watch your video, I'm like, shit. Like the bust. I really liked Cad Bane. I love that character.
Yeah.
When I saw that bust, I'm like, I gotta grab that if I can find it for a decent price, and I did, so I grabbed it. But
Nice.
you're a troublemaker in my eyes now, because but I did get the Mandalorian Deluxe. I don't know about before you, but I did my video before you did yours. Mine sucks though, but but I got it from Josh, right? Huh?
You got it from Josh Spence. I saw your video.
I did, yeah.
That was good, man.
I'm still stiff, so I'm Joe. Here's my toy. It's great. I'm where you guys were a few years ago, so I understand that. Yeah.
It's crazy when you're doing the videos versus like this, right? The live streams aren't so bad because you're talking to somebody and you can bounce off each other. But when you're doing the video by yourself in front of the camera, you say something and you think it's funny and there's nobody to laugh at the joke. And then you're just like silence. So you got to kind of like roll with your own joke,
Yeah, I got to keep hitting stop. I got to do that shit like 10 times. And then I'm still not, when I'm doing like an unboxing or something, I'm still like not sure where to look as far as like straight to the camera or whatever. I'm all over the place, man. But you know what? It's fun anyway. So
you got to put a face on your camera so it looks like it's a person.
Yeah.
I pretend I'm talking to a person. That's what I do.
Howdy doody or something on there.
It's funny you said that, like, because like in school and stuff, I could not get up in front of a class.
Hell no, man.
Like, I am not a speaker. Like,
dude, my hands would be so sweaty when it was almost my turn, dude. As it got close to being my turn,
I would take the fail, man. Half the time I'd come home with like an F, and my dad would be like, "Why'd you?" I'm like, "I didn't want to go up in front of the class."
Skip the class. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did that. That was like the worst thing that I could go through, and like back then, like that was horrible.
Shit,
and I still get anxiety.
Yeah. Well, even like a few months ago when I did my first live stream with T3 for that mental health, when he put me first, and I was like, I didn't really have time to start sweating and get all nervous, but I was kind of like a little anxiety there because I've never been, on camera and all that shit. But I definitely hated that in school, man. It was so nerve-wracking. So I know exactly what that feels like for
at the cons. It's pretty bad too. I have a hard time with the live streams at the cons because everybody's watching. You bring a camera out, it's like everybody, all eyes are on you at that point.
Right.
Yeah. Did you go to ICCC last year?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Seth went. I think that was the week of or the week before Star Wars Celebration, and I went to Star Wars Celebration. So.
Okay. Yeah. I talked to Seth down there. I talked to Mike. I talked to Josh Pence. There was a lot of cool people down there. I got to.
Yeah. I really wanted to go, because it was mainly a Star Wars con, kind of, right? You guys had Ian McDermott there. And you basically had everybody that was at Star Wars Celebration that was there. It was smaller con, so you could meet them easier.
It was so cool. I mean, you can see, I forget his name, C-3PO.
Anthony Daniels.
Anthony Daniels. Yeah. He was outside. Like we were coming back from doing something else, and he was outside the hotel having a cigarette, just like one of the guys. People talking to him. It was cool, good to see.
That's cool.
But it was a fun time because last year it was at the Sheraton, and that's where we stayed. So all we had to do was come down the elevator, buy shit, bring the shit back up, go back down.
That's what's up.
It was fun. We had a really good time. I met a lot of good people.
It's kind of like how Toy Lanta was. I'm gonna miss that con this year too, but. Last year when Seth and I went, it was like that though. We were staying at the same hotel that the con was at. We just went downstairs, did our shopping, went upstairs, put it back in the room. It was great.
Yeah, and then at night we were talking about this on another show we did. At night they would bring everybody, bust the tables out and start selling shit on their own. So I was just like, I got my first hot toy there.
Nice.
So I was like, man, this is freaking awesome. Like
it's
people
different,
are
right?
Their shit out. They're opening their room doors and. It's like a store. It was ridiculous. Yeah.
It's cool. And you make some good deals.
Yeah. People were just wanting to get rid of stuff. They didn't want to carry it all home, I guess. So they were, man, I got a nice hot toy. I think it was a Death Trooper I got for a good deal with the shipper and everything. It was cool. It was fun.
That's cool.
Yep. We were sitting outside. This is the last point about ICCC. We were sitting outside, like we just started meeting all these people from across the world, like just love Star Wars. And we all sat at this really long table out in the courtyard, and we're all talking and we're drinking and we're hanging out. And all of a sudden, this guy just brings in like 30, 40 pizzas stacked up. And he's like, enjoy yourself. And we're like, well, who do we pay for this? He's like, don't worry about it. So everybody was like super cool too, man. It was a good time.
Yeah, I love conventions. I don't go to conventions to buy stuff. Like you end up always buying something usually, but
Oh yeah.
I just like going there, walking around, hanging out with people. It's
Yeah.
a good time. Like
I remember
Generally,
this
when I
one
go to
guy-
cons, I expect it to be overpriced. You know,
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's
you
like
know?
I'm like not gonna buy it or anything like that. But
Yeah.
the Toy Lanta con was something special,
Mhm.
and I found very decently priced Hot Toys and other figures and everything. And but down here in Florida, I hardly see that. You go to a
Mhm.
con, it's mostly very expensive, and they're not dealing with it. So it's like, all right, I won't buy anything. Just go around. So
It's hard not to. It's hard not to. But I do. There's one guy that stuck out in my head. When we first got there, I met him at the bar while my wife was getting, unpacking or whatever. I went down to the bar, sat next to this guy. Well, he rolled up after me, and we just started talking. He's like, "You're for the convention?" I'm like, "Yeah." We ended up hanging out the whole time. But he was like, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. And then all he did the whole time was just drink, and he passed out on the bed. And I was like, did you buy anything yet? He's like, no, I didn't buy anything yet. And the last day I was like, did you buy anything? He's like, I bought one little thing. I'm like, damn, you were all amped up at first, man. He
That's
brought too
funny.
much Jack Daniels with him, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
So do you go to both San Diego and New York?
I've gone to both.
Okay.
But I don't necessarily. I mean, sometimes I try to go to both, but it really depends on the cost of things at the time and really the cost. I mean, it's the flights and hotels. New York is very expensive,
Mhm.
So
Is there-
San Diego. But
Is there one you prefer over the other?
I like New York, and I don't know if it's just because East Coast vibe, but I like New York. It's the people have always been cool, and I mean I like San Diego too, but New York is a little more compact, and I run into a lot more people that I know.
Mhm.
Generally when I go to San Diego, it doesn't happen as often that I run into people. I mean, this past year I did, which was cool. But San Diego is just so huge. It gets very, very difficult to capture everything in one day there, and it's a lot of work. Generally, I'm when I'm there, I'm at the con like every single day filming different booths, and there are hours filming booths because they're so huge.
Mhm.
So
That surprises me. I thought you were going to say San Diego. I was thinking in my head, just because New York, I hear it's like such, the parking's terrible. It's hard to get to. You got to take a train. Seems like for me, what I consider a nightmare. I don't like that kind of shit. I like to get out of the car and walk in.
See, I haven't been to either of them yet, but I'm like getting pulled more towards New York. My brother's been to New York, but I don't know, like the stuff I collect and stuff. I always feel like there's better reveals and stuff at New York. So I don't know.
Ye-
And like you said, the vibe, I don't know. I just feel like I'd like it there more. So my goal is to get there soon.
yeah, New York. So San Diego has more of like the big reveals from a lot of the toy companies and like the statue companies like Sideshow. You get like some really huge booths. You run into celebrities more often over there. What are the things I like about San Diego? It's mostly that. It's a lot of exclusives and meeting celebrities, and then you got the panels if you can manage to get into the panels. So and the food out there is really good and the weather's great. So I do like that. New York, you don't have as many of the reveals, but I like the cosplay way better in New York. And like I said, the vibe, and you have great food out there too. So I wouldn't say that it's super difficult to get to the cons, depending on where you're staying at, but yeah, New York has the thing where you got to take buses and subways or walking a good distance to get to the con. Like I think the second time I went to New York, we stayed in New Jersey. And that was a ride, and then I took the wrong bus going back, and we ended up in the wrong part of town. So, my wife and I were walking in the streets at like midnight. I was like,
$1,000 statue.
Yeah, I was like, man, we need to get out of here. So,
Yeah.
So we got a question from.
That's part of the story there.
Yeah,
we got a question in the chat. General Kenobi's bunker. Thanks for joining us, brother. He wants to know what cons are you going to this year, or maybe plan to go to.
So far, I'm definitely going to San Diego. And I'm going to a MegaCon in the end of March. So those two are definitely on my list.
Okay.
I'm debating if I'm going to go to Wonder Festival. That's in June. So I don't know if I'm going to do that yet or not. I haven't bought the tickets for that. It's a small con in Kentucky. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one. Mostly
No.
like models.
Okay. No, I haven't heard of that one.
I
So
wanted to
no
go to Star Wars
ICCC
Celebration.
again.
It's not on my list yet.
No.
So yeah, I got to see what it is and when is ICEC this year?
Memorial Day weekend.
Oh yeah, then definitely no. I'm going on a cruise.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, a lot of people are. That's the week to go to the beach. Unless you're at the beach all the time, like people in Florida are lucky enough to, for the most part, be. But
it's funny. I hardly go to the beach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hate the beach.
Yeah. Oh, wow. But you're
Yeah,
going on a
kinda
cruise.
weird.
Where are you going on a cruise to?
I'm going on a cruise to the Bahamas, I think.
Oh.
And the only reason why I'm doing it is because my good friend of mine has been bugging me to go
Mhm.
for like the last like year or so. You know, he's always trying to get me to go on the cruise with him and everything. And then my wife was finally like, let's go on a cruise. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
we'll do it.
Yeah.
But every time I'm out at one of these trips like this where I got to put down all my technology, it's great that I get to put it down because I get to get a break from things. But then I feel like the week before I'm busting my ass to try to make sure I have content available for the following week. And then while I'm there, there's this nagging feeling in the back of my head that I'm not doing something to progress and move forward, you know. So it's kind of hard for me to unplug sometimes.
Yeah, everybody deserves a vacation though. So yeah, we got a friend of ours she goes on a lot of cruises, and she's trying to get us to go on one. We want to go on one. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm not big on being out in the middle of the water with nothing around me, but once I get somewhere, it'll be pretty cool to do.
The cruises are fun.
I think I wouldn't even know I'm on a boat. Most people say
you don't. It feels like a big
do.
city.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah,
and there's all the food you can eat, all the drinks you can have. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that part kind of sells me.
Those cruise ships nowadays are freaking huge.
They're huge.
Yeah,
they got like water parks on them, and
yeah, it's
and
crazy.
You know, casinos and clubs. It's great, man. Every time I go on a cruise, I have a good time.
Good.
Yeah, it's something I've never done yet either.
No, it's on my list. I definitely would like to, for sure.
Yeah, especially to go down to like the Bahamas. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
because that'd be a nice one to start out with too. It's not. I wouldn't think that's tremendously long.
No, it's not.
No.
Yeah, you get there like overnight. Usually they leave like in the evening on one day, and then you're there, you know, pretty quickly.
I almost actually went to work on one of those around the world cruises. I wanted to do it when I was younger, but backed out at the last minute.
General Kenobi, another question. He said, what are your thoughts? I guess it's for all of us. What are your thoughts on the new Disney X-Wing pilot helmet? $59.99. I actually have it on order. So
you do?
Yeah. I mean, $59.99. I try to get as many helmets as I can. I just love the helmets. They display so nice. And since I've now copied you with those helmet holders on the wall, I have 4. I have 2 on either side of my TV in this room, and then I have 3 more on the wall. So
isn't that a lot cheaper than normal?
Oh yeah, that's why I got it. Yeah.
Usually they're close to 100.
Why is it so cheap? Because it's like,
I guess it's more of a less desirable one. I guess some people don't even collect the pilot helmets. I collect them all. You know, well, I try to get them all. But my big thing is stormtroopers and things like that. But have you ever heard of a company called X-Coaster? Who does the helmets?
No, I haven't heard of them yet.
Yeah. I got turned on by. I found them somehow. I forget how, but they make really good helmets. Like they're like handmade. But they come out really good.
Okay.
I had a few of them. I'll have to shoot you some pictures of them, but you can get them on Amazon. But it comes from a company that they have really good customer service, and I got my Bad Batch wrecker from there. The whole Bad Batch I got from there. Yeah. So when I saw they made those, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to wait for Black Series to possibly come out with those. I'm going to snag one of my favorite characters now because I love the Bad Batch. So
I can't wait to get that Clone Trooper helmet from Black Series. That I'm holding out for.
Yeah. So you don't have that one yet? The Phase 2?
No, man. They you know
it's out.
I know it's out. It released in the West Coast, and I ordered mine on Amazon. But with Hasbro, it's like a crapshoot on where you're going to order it from. Like if you order it from Hasbro, you can order it from Hasbro at Target, Disney, or
Disney's where
Amazon.
Disney's a good place. Yeah.
Disney, if you're lucky, Disney will get it first, but usually it's California that gets it first. And then it gets pushed out from there. Sometimes we may get it over here. Every now and then I order something from Amazon and it comes before Hasbro does, but it always seems like wherever I order it from generally gets delayed. So right now I got Amazon, and Amazon says it's not going to be here until May. So we'll see when it gets here. But
Yeah.
it looks great. Good looking helmet.
Yeah, I have it on pre-order with Big Bad Toy Store, but I'm considering canceling and just get it from Disney because I can get it shipped now.
They have it on the Disney website to ship
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
No
ship
shit.
now. Yep. And that's
I'll
where that
order mine.
X-Wing pilot helmet is too. And you can ship now for $59.99.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna go buy something. There you go. You
better,
enabled me.
I better get on there before you do because you might buy the last one. Then I'll be pissed. But yeah, it's on. Actually, T3 told me the other day. He had messaged me and told me, he said it's on the website now, and I'm like, that's kind of weird because it's not out anywhere else like till May.
That's what's strange, man. That's why the things with the Hasbro Black Series annoy me, because at first I used to order from Hasbro and I paid for their membership, whatever they have. You pay like $50 a month and you get like free shipping and everything.
Right.
I would order the stuff from them, and then it would release on Amazon and Disney and everywhere else before them. And I'm like, I'm paying you to be a member of your company. I'm ordering directly from you. Why wouldn't I get it from you first? And like, over.
Yeah, exactly.
So after a while, I was like, I'm not renewing my membership, and I just would wait and see where it's available, and then I'll order it from there. But
yeah, like the Amazon pre-order, you had to pay for that up front though.
No, you just pre-order it and you wait.
Okay. Yep. They don't charge to you ship.
So
Okay,
ships.
so it's like Big Bad Toy Store then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And generally it's prime shipping, so you don't have to pay for shipping either. But Disney ships super fast. I mean, every time I order something from Disney, I get it like within that week.
Yeah. I guess you would probably most likely. I mean, I don't have too many problems with Amazon, but I would imagine you would get a better box through Big Bad or Disney than you would from Amazon. I don't know.
Sometimes, like I ordered the Darth Vader that I had from Amazon. That thing came double boxed, and it was very, very well packed. Disney, sometimes I'll get a package from them, and it'll be an item like this big and a box like that big, with a couple of bubbles. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man! I was like, you charge me ship? I think I paid shipping on those. I don't know if I did. They did that to me on the lightsabers, and then I'm like seeing the box, and I could just imagine this lightsaber bouncing around inside this box. I'm like, could have packed it better.
Yeah. Spice Runners Lounge, a little hungover. I guess so. That show last night. I watched it this morning because I missed it last night.
Oh yeah, I was watching last night. I was on last night.
We were watching Megan, and then I didn't really care for that movie. I don't know if you're into horror movies or not, George.
No, I didn't see that one.
No.
Yeah.
I watched it.
I didn't like Megan either. I didn't think it was anything special.
No, I thought it was actually really stupid, especially when the two robots started fighting each other. I'm like, man, to hell with this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
but I still think that they did an amazing. The actors, they were fine. The little girl who played Megan, all that shit.
Oh yeah, definitely. But
just nothing against them. Just the movie itself was kind of like not my style. So I had to get. I dozed off a little bit, man. I can't lie. And then I get up too early in the morning. I can't stay up very late anymore, man. But
I'm the same way, man. And then and I feel bad. It's because I want to get on the Spice Runners Lounge, but they the show goes on usually till about midnight, and I'm like gassed out sometimes by like 6 between work and I get up really early in the morning. So like my day today started like at 4. Like I was up at like 3:15, but 4 in the morning is usually when I'm out, going to the gym and doing what I got to do, and then I start my day. So like last night, I wanted to do, even Thursday, I wanted to do a gaming live stream where I just would play games, and then people can come and talk to me and everything, and we could just have a chat. And by my end of my day, I was like, man, I'm burnt. I'm tired of even sitting in this chair, and I just want to go downstairs and hang out with my girls and eat dinner and have a drink.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I saw you were on there. I watched it this morning, the Spice Runners Lounge, and I saw you were on there. He said, well, George got a pretty early interview tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been really supportive with our channel, man, too. He's been sharing a lot.
Evan's awesome, man.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I actually won a nice print from the show.
Yeah? Which one?
The Ahsoka Tan print.
Nice, man. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. I was excited to get it, man. It's such a nice print, man. It has all the clone troopers and other characters like incorporated in it.
That's the sideshow one, right? Or I don't know. I
have the paper somewhere over here. Yeah, but I got it from cool. Jason, J2O.
J2, yeah, he's awesome too.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a cool print. I like that.
Yeah, I can't wait to get a frame for it. I'm gonna try to go today or tomorrow and get a print for it and hang it right above my desk here, and that'll be sweet, man.
I wish I lived closer to those guys. Those guys are all like 3 hours north of me. So
yeah. I mean, I wished I lived around a lot of you guys, man, because nobody here does anything, and it sucks. But But yeah, that shows. I love watching that show. Looks like they have a really good time on that show. So
Yeah, those
definitely
guys,
support them too.
those guys are a trip, man. I love them.
Yeah, and they drink while they're doing it, so that's fun.
Yeah, yeah, it always makes it fun.
We just have coffee here, and we're boring. But
Oh, dude, I have my show sometimes on Sundays, and I don't drink on Sundays. You know, and then I call it the cantina chat. I'm like, we're not even in a cantina. I'm not drinking. I should be drinking.
yeah,
So
there you go. No women dancing or nothing like that either.
yeah, I know, right? Some dancers. I definitely get subscribers then.
Yeah, damn right. Yeah, it's all about the thumbnail, you know.
Right.
So, what do you collect besides Star Wars? Or is your room? I know your room is pretty much all Star Wars, right? But
This room is completely Star Wars. I do collect some video game statues, and I have some Marvel pieces. I have a couple of He-Man. When I first started collecting, I was really doing. When I really first started collecting, was mainly video game. What do you call it? They come with the collector's editions. You get the statues that come with them and everything. So I was into Assassin's Creed and Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, and you get the little statues that come with it. And I have my little collection in a DTOF. And then my wife comes home and she sees this stuff and she's like, "Those look like toys." She's like, "I'm gonna get you a real statue." So she buys the Sideshow Darth Vader Mythos statue, the original one. And then when I saw that thing, I was just so fueled by the art, and I studied animation and sculpting in college. So it's like when I saw that, I was like, man, this is super cool, and I thought this would be neat to talk about, and I want to get more of those. And so then I went down that rabbit hole of buying the different statues. So initially it was primarily all of the things that inspired me throughout the years in my artistic journey. So it was like a lot of Marvel Comics, X-Men, Spider-Man, and the little bit of Star Wars. But then as the years came, rolled by and everything, and I remembered how much I really loved Star Wars. So Star Wars became the prominent thing in my collection, and then I started shifting over to movie collecting along with it. So I have some Jurassic Park and Pirates of the Caribbean. I got some Lord of the Rings stuff now on order. So I kind of stick in the movie section mostly.
Yeah, Star Wars is my first love. Horror, wrestling. That's about the only three things. There are some other little things mixed in myself too. But does your wife ever think like she created a monster because of that statue? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like she probably looks around and is like, "Oh shit, what did I do?"
I think this is the first time I've ever heard someone say that their wife actually
started it. Yeah, she definitely feels that way, and God bless her. I would not be able to do what I'm doing without her. So she's definitely the backbone to all this. But I mean, right now I got boxes galore in the living room, in the garage. I shift boxes from here to the bedroom when I'm doing my shooting, because I got so much stuff that I'm still got to take it on box and do videos on. So she puts up with a lot. So
is she into this stuff too, or?
No. She sells fine art or contemporary fine art for a living. So, things like I can't think of the name right now. So she would know the name of it, but some very high end stuff, like the statues and stuff that she sells start like in the $200,000-$300,000 range.
Okay. So
when she looks at this stuff, she appreciates the art, but at the same time she looks at it as like a toy. So but yeah, she is very supportive of the video creation and what I've created as far as the following. Like I think when I first took her to New York Comic Con is when she realized, how much of an impact the channel was having, So like, because when we went out there, she always made fun of Seth and I, but Seth is very much into his persona, right? So Seth is like, I'm the talent and he's the hype guy, he's the personality when of the two of us. He definitely has that glowing X factor, that I always say about him. But she would crack on us is because she's like, "Oh, we're our own fans," and I'm humble, but we get out to New York Comic Con and people are stopping me to take pictures. And I remember that one guy asked me for my autograph, which was weird. I didn't even know how to handle that, and she saw that. And then she was like, "Wow, okay." She's like, "I guess your channel is doing something," So, yeah. So, and then it helps that her sister is also into this kind of stuff. Not into this, but social media, and she has her own thing. And So she's doing her own podcast and stuff. So it kind of helps for her to, I guess, appreciate it a little better.
Yeah. I have the same kind of wife, and she went to ICC with me, ICCC last year, and she's not into this. She just did it. I always call her a trooper, but not a stormtrooper, unfortunately. But she's been my backbone too. Without her, I couldn't do any of this. So I know exactly what you're saying. So that's cool, man, that she's supportive with all this. Because you always want to ask, like, what does the wife think when she sees you bringing these figures in the house? And it's like, people ask me that too, and they're like, what do you? I was like, man, she just whatever makes me happy, man, and I appreciate that. So that sounds like you're going through the same kind of deal. So that's awesome, man.
And it's reciprocal. Like when she wants something, I just tell her go get it. I don't push on her or say that costs this much and whatever.
Yeah.
Because Lord knows some of this shit is so expensive. I don't even want to mention the cost of it.
Yeah, you can't really go out and say I'm going to buy a statue of Darth Vader, and then she's going to say I want to go buy a necklace, and oh fuck no,
exactly.
no, leave that checking account alone. Like, yeah, so my wife's not very much into all that frugal stuff too much, so she's just very subtle with what she buys, but I never give her a hard time either, so that's cool.
It helps.
Yeah, so
keep the wife happy.
Yeah, definitely. Happy wife, happy life, right? Yeah, so we got to welcome Payne's Toy Samples to the show. Thanks for joining in the
chat,
man. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. So what's your, I want to say, like, your favorite piece that you have in your collection? Do you have one? I mean, I hate asking that question, I always say, but I still ask it anyway. Like, I don't like the word grail too much, because I figure if you bought it, everything's probably your grail because you love everything you buy. But
yeah,
is there one thing that sticks out?
At this point, not really. At the beginning it did. Like the Darth Vader is definitely one that I'll always keep, is because of it's the first, and it was my wife that gave it to me and everything. But over the years, it's like the statues keep getting better. Getting into models now, and I love all of it. And it's making it very difficult, because at the beginning, it's like I would get into the stuff, I'd like it, and then your interests change a little bit. Like when I moved from primarily Marvel into Star Wars, I'd sold off that stuff and had money now to buy the Star Wars stuff. But now it's like I'm getting to the point where the room is full. She's agreed to allow me to have one extra wall downstairs. So it's like I'm going to have a little more space for my ships and everything. But the room is full, and I don't want to get rid of anything. So it's becoming hard. So that's why it's like I go online and I look at the sideshow stuff that's coming out, and I'm just like, wow, I like it. I'm just thinking, where am I going to put it? I don't want to get rid of something else to put it in its place. But if I had to pick one, and only because it was so hard to get, is the Mythos Obi-Wan Kenobi or the Mythos Boba Fett. Both of them equally were very difficult statues to get my hands on, and spent a lot of time trying to catch it. So
that Mythos Boba Fett is. I remember when that came out. I don't know. I really wish I would have bought it. I have the 6 scale figure of it. But that statue is awesome
with the big gun, man. It's so cool.
Yeah. Boba Fett, anything really. It's and Mandalorian, of course. I'm sure you can't wait for the new season of that to come out.
Cannot wait. It's this Wednesday, bro. I'm so
March
hyped.
1st, right? Yeah.
I just thought that Mythos line was just, I don't know. I just love that Mythos line.
It's perfect, man.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I'm not really a fan of too much of too many of the new. Well, I want to say too many of the new ones. I like the new ones. There's a few of them I don't like of the new ones, but that new Vader that they came out with is sick. That's definitely one that is up there on the list, and the Asajj Ventress, and then the Darth Maul, all done by the same artist too. That really into that guy's work. So the Kuharik brothers.
Yeah, where do you do like you said you looked at Sideshow, the news? Did you just go on Sideshow and look this stuff up or research it, like what's coming out, or do you got a special website you go to, or because I need to get better at this?
I scan Sideshow. I'm a part of a lot of different forums in Facebook. Over the years, it's just I've found all of these things. At the beginning, I was a lot better at it. Now it's like since I'm not buying as much of it, I don't really look at it too much. I'm more into like the 6 scale figures now. So so I see some of the news of that stuff coming out. I'm part of a few groups there, like 6 scale Mafia. If you can join that group is awesome. And they have a lot of good stuff there, a lot of good news. And then I'm part of so many different statue groups. So I see these things coming out, and then I'm like, okay, the stuff that I'm interested in is usually what I put the news on, and then I put that on the MCE channel now. So I'm trying to keep up with that channel now that Seth is gone, and keep Hyperdrive, mostly Star Wars, and then general news about collectibles on the MCE channel. So so I've been doing that. But yeah, so you just basically, I have my pattern. I go to Sideshow, Primo Studios, XM Studios, if you're doing statues, and roll around there and see what's new on their pages, or what they've announced. Follow the sculptors and the owners of the companies too. They post a lot on Facebook, Instagram, and all that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I am part of your Hyperdrive Facebook. I just don't go on Facebook a whole lot, so I got to get more active with that channel. But I do follow that.
Facebook is like a double-edged blade, man. It's like it's good for information. It's very toxic. So like some groups are good. Like the Hyperdrive group is great. They are definitely a bunch of nice people, and whenever something gets a little bit out of hand, they cut it, they nip it in the bud pretty quick. But I've been part of some groups that the toxicity is just like really high, and it just makes you not want to go online, So
yeah.
There's
Unfortunately, that's all over. Yeah,
there's been some groups that I got into, damn near had to give a vial of your blood to them, and
yeah,
and then the toxicity is just like, how do you guys do this every day? Like,
yeah.
you
Unfortunately,
guys call yourself fans, but you don't want fans, and like it just doesn't make sense, dude.
Some
I mean, it's
people
one
just
thing
go
if
on there
you're
looking
stating
for
your
trouble.
opinion,
Yeah.
but like when they're just there and attacking other people or their opinions, and then it just is like, I don't even want to be a part of that kind of shit. So I tend to tune out of those, and which is also, made it where it's difficult to find news sometimes, because I turn off notifications for those groups, and sometimes the news in those groups is pretty good too. But,
Yeah, I just don't go on Facebook as much as I used to. I actually thought about getting rid of it, but I use Marketplace, and then so I keep it for that. And I got a lot of photos, like a lot of photos that mean a lot to me on there, that I just don't feel like going through all of them one by one and transferring them. It's a pain. So I wish there was a way I could just do the group pull from that, but I can't. So I got to figure something out. But
that's the way they keep you.
yeah, unfortunately.
Instagram to me is more fun. I like Instagram.
Yes.
Yes. And then YouTube, I do YouTube. TikTok I've been doing too, but TikTok I just do it to make funny videos. And they're cool.
Yeah, it took me a while to get used to Instagram coming from Facebook.
Yeah,
it took me a little while. It took me a little bit to get used to the format and how everything goes, but I like it a lot better now, for sure, especially for like the show and how we advertise and the people that follow us and people we follow. It makes it a little easier on there, because I try to keep my Facebook life separate. That's just me. And then there's my, like, I do the Instagram stuff with what I collect and all that stuff. Because a lot of people on my Facebook, I've known them for years, and they probably wouldn't even care that I do this. Not that anybody does, but I don't know how they would feel about that, some of the people. So I just don't even blend it in much.
Yeah. At first I was like that too. I didn't blend my personal stuff in. And I have two Instagram pages. I have the Marvelous Night. I'm sorry, the Marvelous Night, the Medinalorian 23, and then I also have the Marvelous Statues Instagram. So the Marvelous Statues Instagram was the original Instagram page that we started, and then the other one was my personal one, and I've kept it quiet for a long time. But recently, because of just of what's been happening, things that I've been doing, I just said, fuck it.
Yeah.
Certain things go on some pages. If it seems a little more personal, kind of funny, it ends up on the Medinalorian 23. If it's artsy and figure related or statue related, then it goes on the Marvelous Statues page. And so, and then I share between them. So it's just messing around.
Yeah, it's funny because at one point I was posting stuff on Instagram. I didn't realize I had the button hit to like share it to Facebook. And I'm like, shit. I don't want these people to know this. Like, not that I'm not embarrassed at all, but it's just like, it's just not what they know me for. So I was just like, I got to get this shit off of here before.
I think what changed for me when it became where I just started blending things is I go to work and people would say, keep it marvelous. Or they would, and I'm looking at them and I'm like, you guys watch my channel, oh man, I seen you and Seth at the cons. You guys look like you're having fun. And then I'm just like, now everybody knows at work that I do this. So at this point, it's just like, hell with it.
Yeah. Well, there's people at work that know I have the podcast and know I do the toy hunts and all that shit. And they know I collect, and they do talk about it a little bit, but I don't know. It's still, separate it from me. So it's cool. But they do know, and they do try to watch if they can. And I even had so my father passed away last month, and
Sorry to hear that.
thank you. And this a lady I work with, good friend of mine, she her son she was pregnant with her son when I started at that job. So we got really close. And, you know, I always call him my nephew. So when I came back from being out for bereavement, she said, I don't know what you collect, but Mason got you this, and he got you a card for, you know, for saying sorry about your father and all that. And when I opened up, it was a little Funko Pop. Now, I didn't know who the character was, but I thought it was so cool. I just leave it at my desk at work. But it was the coolest thing to see that
That's cool.
I had this little kid buying a grown man a toy and caring that much, you know, through his family. So that was cool, man. So
That's awesome, man.
yeah, it carries over a little bit, and that's okay. So eventually I may blend it more. We'll see what happens, but for now, try to keep it separated like the song. But you know, yeah, it's a fun hobby, man. There is toxic stuff out there, so I guess that's why I stay away from Facebook a lot.
I mean, it happens on all of the platforms. It doesn't happen on Instagram, it seems. I don't really catch it there. YouTube, sometimes I do. You know, pretty much anywhere where you get the commentators, and you know, people gotta like make you feel bad about, or try to make you feel bad about what you're doing. I just, you know, tune them out. Yeah, I'm having fun. Yeah, if you don't like it, move on.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said earlier, man. No matter you collect stamps, coins, toys, I don't know, whatever, man. If you're enjoying it, why does anybody care what you're doing? You know, if you don't like it, don't watch. You know?
The best thing you can do is just completely ignore those people.
Yeah.
As soon as you start interacting with them, then you gave them exactly what they wanted.
That's what they want.
Exactly. You just ignore them and on to the next. I even leave it there so everybody else can see how dumb they are.
Yeah, right. How much of an asshole they were, and get your blood pressure up. Don't even worry about it, man. Who cares?
Some people like delete them and block them and shit. I don't do any of that. I just, because you know, if they're that dumb and I see that they're that dumb, everybody else does too. But I will not respond to them at all.
I haven't had any of that yet, but I know eventually I will when I get more into it. I'm just starting out, so I don't know. It's just been a fun ride so far, man. I love when I come in this room. I tell everybody when I come in this room, I get a deep breath, and it just feels good. You know, I look around and this is my stuff, man. You know,
it's how it's supposed to be. It's good.
Yeah, it's fun.
So I've seen
being fun. That's when you got to stop it.
True.
How have you felt about all the new like Star Wars projects? Because I see a lot of like mixed feelings in the, you know, people. There's a lot of people that love it, a lot of people that hate it. Have you
talking about the TV shows?
Yeah, TV shows.
I like them mostly. I mean, I like anything that they put out Star Wars, I'll watch. So it's like it doesn't matter to me. But you know, I like some more than others. You know, so like I'm mostly enjoying the Bad Batch. Some of the episodes have been okay. Some of them have been really, really great. I wasn't a huge fan of Andor, but I mean, it was still okay. It was okay enough for me to get through it, and I'll you know tune into season 2 when it comes out. I was I'm a huge fan of the Mandalorian. You know, Mandalorian is awesome.
I can't tell.
Yeah, anything that comes out of that, I'm just always like super hyped about. I don't think I've ever disliked an episode on that show.
No.
Boba Fett was probably the most disappointing for me.
Really?
But even then, it still was okay. You know, it's like I still was okay enough that I made it through it. I've seen some of the things over again, but I wouldn't say it was the best one. And I enjoyed Kenobi. And I love the what was the other one? The Tales from the Jedi. I thought that was amazing. So yeah, man, I'm happy that we're getting all kinds of Star Wars, you know, all the time. I wish sometimes they would like slow it down a little bit and just like really, you know, focus on telling a really cohesive story. Because I feel like in the Bad Batch right now, there's times when they doesn't know, you know, what it really wants to be. Does it want to be a kids TV show or does it want to be an adult TV show? Because some of the episodes that they have are very much adult themed. You know, and you know, then I'm watching it with my kid, and then they're like, "This doesn't make sense to them." You know, then I watch episodes that are done, you know, really for them, and I'm just like, Jesus, this is just, you know, totally off the rail. So I kind of wish that they would take and, you know, focus a little better on trying to stick to one area. But
right,
have you finished Bad Batch season 2 yet?
I just watched the last episode this past week. Or is that the final episode? I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe they're coming back with another part of it. I don't know, but I think I watched them all. I forget how many there were in season 2, but I watched season 1. I watched the rest of season 1 and then finished season 2 last week.
Right.
Yeah. From what I saw anyway. I don't know if you know something different. There's more coming out. Hopefully. I mean, I could definitely stand some more.
Yeah, I got to look it up to see. I would think that there's still more, but it didn't feel like
Mm-hmm.
it was the last episode.
Yeah, I even another season I would be sure they would do. I don't know how that, how long.
I hope it doesn't end with this last episode.
No, it would be very like anticlimactic. But,
exactly, man. We need like some kind of cliffhanger to make us feel like we're continuing this. So
yeah. So
well, I
sure
agreed with you with the Boba Fett though. Like that was the one I was looking forward to the most.
Yeah,
and like you said, it was like because it was Boba Fett, I still like can say I whatever, but it was really disappointing to me, and in my opinion,
I felt like he was like, I mean, like you're a crime boss trying to be nice with crime lords. I'm just like, that doesn't make sense.
I know exactly.
He should have been more like he was in when they first brought him back in the Mandalorian season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife was like, because we were talking about it the other day, and she was like, oh, it's because, Tamora Morrison was older, and I think he was too old to play the role. So I was like, I don't think so. I'm like, it's because when they showed him in Mandalorian season 2, he was a badass, and he was really tough, and he projects toughness, so it's like he could do it. I think it's just the way they wrote it,
Exactly. So, yeah, they didn't portray him the way he should have been.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't as disappointed as you two are, but I mean, I do see what you're saying for sure. But I guess I just forgive it because it's Boba. I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of like
because it's him. I was like, I got to be on his side, man. I love it. So,
and that's kind of like how I felt about the Kenobi TV show. Like there's parts of it that I felt like this is ridiculous, some of the things that are happening. But then it's like, oh, it's Kenobi and Vader, so it's like I'm okay with it because of that. But I still agree that hey, this is a little bit silly. Some of the things that they throw in there. But I just feel like Boba Fett and Mando, right? They're kind of similar characters, but I feel like Mando is the bounty hunter with a morality, and Boba Fett is got no morals. He should not have morals. He should be the guy that doesn't think twice about killing somebody if it's gonna if it goes down that route. Right. And he didn't. He was there like, well, I don't want to kill you. If you don't want to be with me, just stay out of my way and we're good. And I'm just like, no, that's not the character. He needs to be, I'll feed you to my rancor if you don't listen to me,
Well,
it's like they switch characters, Mandalorian and Boba. Like,
and then like it got to a point like in the season where it was just like it was like really hard for me to even finish the episodes. Like it was like going nowhere or something. I don't know what it was. It was just boring or what, but I don't know. It was a letdown, but at the same time, because of being Boba Fett, you let it pass, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just more easily entertained than I thought, because I don't know.
The other thing too that I don't know if it would benefit from is sometimes maybe releasing episodes like in 2 episodes at a time, like they did with the Bad Batch, right? They did that one story arc where I don't want to give spoilers away, but where the I don't want to give spoilers away. Not last episode or not the episode before that, but the previous one where they did 2 episodes in one day. It kind of helps us because then you have a beginning and an end to a full story, and it's kind of neat, to do it that way. So maybe some of these shows could benefit from that, just to deliver it that way,
Right.
So Amazon's been doing that lately.
See, I'm a big Rogue One fan. That's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Probably my favorite Star Wars movie, and
it's a great movie.
Andor. When you think that I'm like a big Rogue One fan, you think I would love like Andor. The first few episodes, I didn't like. And then it picked up a little bit. So like episode maybe 3, 4, 5 started getting better. I did like it. That was a little disappointing. I don't know. Some of them feel rushed. Like Kenobi felt a little rushed. I think
it did.
It's like maybe they should have done like a half season, a pause, and then brought the second half of season out. I don't know. Something to that effect. It seems like Disney just throwing some things out there and rushing them. That's, some of the shows anyway. Not all.
No, not all.
But I still enjoy them.
Visually, I thought. And visually and story wise, I thought that Andor was more planned out better than Kenobi. And I thought the dialogue in Andor was way better. And some of the things that they were touching on were way better. And it was more adult, which was awesome. I just felt like they delved too much detail. It's like I'm okay with finding out a little bit more stuff, but I don't need to know about Star Wars cereal. and that some of these characters that just didn't seem to go anywhere. So I felt like Andor ended to me and on a like I felt like nothing happened. Some people were like, "This is a great spy story." I was like, "What were we spying on exactly?" I'm like, I didn't feel like there was any spies or anything like that. It just felt like we're following Andor stumbling along through the universe. So I mean, it was interesting enough, but I'm hoping season 2 will pick up more. It needs to be a little bit more faster paced, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I'm thinking we'll actually get something like more like what we want.
Yeah, maybe this is like the first part, right?
Yeah.
And then the next part is where we get the action and everything. So maybe that's what's going to.
I think this was this was getting us to where we want to be.
Yeah. Since you're such a big lover of Mandalorian, did you follow Pedro Pascal over to his new show?
Yes,
you did.
And I do like that show a lot. I didn't play the video game because I'm not a big horror guy. And of all of the horror lines, zombies are like the worst for me. I have a hard time watching it. It gives me nightmares, So I didn't play the video game, and my friends and everybody was like, "You got to play Last of Us. Last of Us is the best video game ever." And so I go and I start watching this TV show, and the TV show is amazing, man.
It is.
It's like
it is
incredible show.
Yeah, I love it. That's why I had to ask you, because he does such a good job. Everything he does.
Yeah,
it's amazing how he just. And I didn't play the video game either. Like, I got part 2. I never played part 1 yet. I'm still got to try to get that one and play it.
Oh man, you're missing out.
I know. You told me that multiple times. I know, but I will get it.
It's one of those games like as soon as you pop it in, it's like boom, let's go.
Part 2 is actually good too. I mean, it's. I played a little bit of it. I'm not a big gamer, but I used to be, like, more sports and wrestling and stuff like that on there. Resident Evil, I did play that a lot.
Evan,
but
that is the difference, though. They're not really zombies; they're infected.
Yeah.
So I think I got over that, now. So it's like, okay, cool.
And then in The Walking Dead, they were walkers. So they
were walkers. No, that's zombies. I tried watching that. I couldn't get into that too much.
See, a zombie, to me, you're not going to run as fast as the infected,
right?
They'll chase your ass down.
My problem with The Walking Dead, it was like one of those shows where you would get like it'd be going good, and then it just like dies down and just kind of stagnant for a while, and then it gets good again, and then it's like stagnant for a while again. Like,
well, I think that was mostly because they did a lot of backstory, and The Last of Us, they do backstory too. But I think their backstories actually make a lot more sense sometimes than The Walking Dead for some of them, not all of them.
Okay.
But.
Well, The Walking Dead, when they're out like trying to survive, that's like good. Zombie survival show, but then they'd get to like the prison, for instance, and then you're just watching guys fucking garden and build houses, whatever, and that's when it would get like stagnant.
It would, but I mean, that's kind of part of the process to build the world back up. You have to try to do that, I guess, because you got to eat, so you got to garden.
What we're talking about, entertaining television. They're not.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm loving Last of Us so far, though. It's and I think this coming episode is going to be a backstory. I think is what I heard.
Okay.
So
the last backstory they did, it actually made sense. I wasn't, and a lot of people got upset because of what they did with that. But I was like,
I thought it was a great. You're talking about with the 2 guys, right?
Yeah.
I can't think of their names right now, but I thought that was well done, even though it diverted from what the original story was, or they didn't really show it in the video game.
Right.
But I thought it was very well done, and then this one here is going to do more on Ellie's backstory. But yeah, and I think it's supposed to be based on the what is it, the DLC pack that was for the first game. I think is what this part's going to be.
Okay.
But from what I understand from everybody that's played the video game, they follow pretty closely to it. With few parts, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that they're both that it's entertaining new fans and then also satisfying guys who have played the game. So I was like, this is neat, like that's really how it should be, So
yeah, they had even though their names are Bill and Frank.
There you go. Thanks.
So even though, and there go my dogs. Even though like that's not part of the video game, they have to like visually for TV maybe throw something in like that to tell a little bit of the backstory that you couldn't really tell on a video game.
Yeah,
or wouldn't make sense on a video game. So I thought that episode was really good, to be honest.
Yeah, Yeah, because it brings more I don't know, more credence to what happened when they got there, I guess. Because like in the video game, the whole thing with them was he finds a letter, and I think Frank or Bill, one of them is dead, and then he walks it in, and he has the choice to tell the other guy if he died or not. I think is what you're to get the truck.
Yeah.
So
I know when the one guy first showed up to that guy's house, hungry, I was kind of worried. I'm not going to say what happened, but I didn't know what was going to happen there.
yeah,
because normally when you see something like that, it's not going to be good.
right.
So, but I don't want to ruin it, but I guess I kind of just did. But oh well.
Plus, it was kind of neat how it showed the progression of the world. You know, in those years that happened, right? The missing years that they're not really showing. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, because they skipped 20 years. Yeah,
right.
So it's like, wow, you skip 20 years and still have enough stories. So I'm kind of wondering how many seasons they'll actually do on this show.
True.
Like if they'll keep it going, or they're gonna base it right off the game and end it like they did in the game, or what they're gonna do. But it's interesting to see. But I'm loving it so far.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too. One of the shows I'm enjoying that one, and I'm watching Carnival Row right now too. That one that's on Amazon.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's different.
Yep. I like shows like that.
Have you watched You?
No, I haven't seen You.
Yeah,
I haven't seen You.
It's pretty good. I think I don't know your wife, obviously, but I mean, maybe she would like it. It's kind of something that me and my wife watch together. We both enjoy it. It's like, I think it's 4 seasons now. But
she gets upset with me. It's because I keep putting on these different shows.
Well, yeah, my wife's always like, let's finish this one first because I get confused.
Like, exactly. It's like we're watching Yellowstone and we're still in the middle of Yellowstone.
Yeah, that's another good one.
That's great.
I got to start that up again, man, because I started a few times and then I just fall off.
Have you watched the spinoffs yet?
Too much out there.
Yes, I saw. Well, I haven't watched 1923 yet, but I did see 1887. I think is what it was, or
something like that. 1888,
1883, and then it's
1883.
Yeah.
I got a long way to go on that.
I just started 23.
Yeah, with that was had Harrison Ford, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to watching that too.
It's kind of cool. They got Harrison Ford, and then what's his name in the Yellowstone?
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, they're all kind of like the same type of actor too, so it kind of makes sense that they would get them. But
I heard Kevin Costner's not coming back.
Oh, he's not.
No, man.
You want to kill him off or something?
No, I'm hoping if they're not going to bring him back, that's what they do. But I think the rumor is that they're supposed to have Matthew McConaughey reprise that or take his role.
Oh,
which
man. I hate recasts.
I don't like recasts. It's not like I don't like Matthew McConaughey. I think he's good and he can play that kind of role. But
I hate recasts, man.
Yeah,
I hate it,
especially for a main character.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's a bad move there.
It's one thing when you don't know. Like I think they recasted the Mountain in Game of Thrones, and I didn't even realize it until they said it.
Oh yeah, that you can't tell.
Yeah.
I hate when they recast, but I would rather them kill him off or something. I don't know, something to do that. But we're coming up on an hour, a little over an hour, man. We don't want to hold you up on a Saturday, so we're gonna wrap it up. But definitely welcome back anytime, man. And we appreciate you being on. And
this was fun,
man.
Man.
For life now, because once you're on the show, you're a friend for life. So
thank you, man.
Keep in touch, brother. I'll keep watching your show. I enjoy it. I love it. I love watching those your unboxings. So keep up the good work.
Thanks, buddy.
We will be back tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow with Joel Haas.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one
from the Spice Runners Lounge.
Yeah, man.
Come back tomorrow and watch. George, you can pipe in the chat and hang out with us again, man.
Oh yeah.
But if you want to hang out for a minute backstage, and we'll wound this down, and then we'll talk to you backstage just for a minute, and then let you go on your way.
Sounds good.
But we'll tomorrow, 9 a.m., Joel Haze from the Spice Runners Lounge. And for now, that's what effing figures. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Later, guys.
Thank you again, George.
Later.